7th International Conference on Micromanufacturing, or ICOMM 2012 for short. Conference organizers hailed the balanced attendance from Asia, Europe, and North America as a first for the annual gathering. For more insight into the growth and evolution of this annual conference, I talked with a member of the ICOMM 2012 Scientific Committee, as well as the president of I2M2, the International Institution for Micromanufacturing, established to foster more research and collaboration through international platforms such as ICOMM.
I think, as you know, this is the 7th ICOMM conference, and in initial few of them, our numbers were, below 100. And then starting from Wisconsin possibly, our numbers increased, and they have been steadily on the order of 130, 140. This is the number of people who registered. And so I feel the turnout is very, very good and has increased and will be increasing. We get a lot of interest from both Asia and Europe.
In fact, this conference is pretty much evenly distributed, a third in terms of registrations and participation from Europe, the United States, and Asia. So a truly international conference. This well-balanced, if you will, registration, we see it for the first time here.
So it's really truly international, an international conference.
With, let's say, the vendor input, how is that balance? Is that a growing partnership or a solid partnership with these meetings?
Some of those vendors that you see out there, for instance, Aerotech, has been with us from the beginning. Microlution, all the way to our first, conference, they have been supporting us. Some of them are new, but there is a growing interest on the vendor side as well to, come and sponsor the conference, because they can see it all goes by, we have increased registration, we have a very nice international impact now. Vendors want to participate, and that's really great because people also like to talk to them and see what different vendors do.
There's a core group that really sees the value in this conference and the audience they can reach, and they come again and again.
And we have increased participation. Hopefully, next year we'll have more.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have
Yeah.
some Canadian companies coming in as well. Next year's ICOMM is gonna be in Victoria, Canada. So we are looking forward to that, and we'll have hopefully good participation from companies as well.
Hi, can you tell us why is it important that MicroManufacturing be here at ICOMM? What's in it for MicroManufacturing?
Well, ICOMM is a great research conference that brings together a lot of the cutting-edge research that's going on in microfabrication, cutting, forming, laser processing, molding. And it's a great opportunity for us to interact and network with some of the top researchers in these areas. And as a commercial company developing cutting-edge technology, it's important for us to be in touch with what's going on in the research community, and that helps weave into what we may be doing in the future in terms of advanced product development. So it's good to maintain relationships, shake hands with a lot of old friends, and just keep abreast as to what's going on in micromanufacturing.
What went into the content, the thought process for the content of this conference?
Generally, our focus is micromanufacturing. Now, we have some lithographic-based processes also represented, but mostly non-lithography-based processes that would go from, micromilling, microdrilling-based, what we call, mechanical micromachining, laser processing, molding, forming at the microscale, all these microscale, and some at the nanoscale. In overall aspect, we cover a lot of areas.
Our focus is just micro-scale and nanoscale manufacturing,
yeah.
Whatever the process machine may be.
Yeah, process equipment, systems, all of the above.
We don't focus it any more beyond that, and that gives a nice breadth. Everybody's looking at similar scaling problems. We're doing this at a small scale. The dominant physical phenomena have changed over the macro scale or conventional process that this may be derived from. And so there are a lot of things tying them together, even if one person's talking about electro-discharge machining and another person's talking about a micro end mill that's creating a chip. very different processes to shape something. They're seeing some similar issues, and so I think that's what makes the conference so interesting for all the participants is, even talking to somebody outside your very immediate area of expertise or research, you can learn a lot that could help you in your process, and ultimately to make microscale features and microscale parts, factories or plants will be using many or all of these processes to produce them.
And also, if you look at the, each of the presentation rooms, we have a lot of people not only listening to talks, they're engaged in, asking questions, there is good arguments, and those are very, very healthy things. And that cross-fertilization between different things, somebody is doing EDM and somebody is doing, micromachining, somebody is doing laser micromachining, and they talk about it, and there are some interesting areas of, hybrid processes sometimes born out of that. So, I have been very happy with how it has been going. Many of these conferences, this one is no exception. We sit down and talk. We said, Frank, I have this idea. He tells me, oh, I have this idea. And we sit down and talk. We write a proposal, or we start working with a company as a result of that. There is a lot of that. Two of the companies who are attending here, actually one of them is a demonstrator, the other one, they're just people attending. They had a part they wanted to be measured, and they were just talking to one of the other companies saying that, can you measure this? And they just measured it, and they are exchanging cars. They say, oh, we can measure your parts, send us your parts. Those are the kinds of examples that is very effective. And then they also sit down and see some presentations. So, what, I had this problem. What do you think? Maybe you could solve it. And I say, well, yeah, we could solve it. Just send it to us, and we'll figure it out.
What sort of goal or dream do you have for ICOMM and micromanufacturing?
My goal is basically we do a lot of innovations, process development, systems, equipment, so on in micromanufacturing. My dream is those things to be used out there in industry, in high impact application, whether it's biomedical engineering, field, medical science, aerospace, whatever, those type of applications, these innovations, these technology developments to be utilized in those industries. And so our overall goal is to advance the, science and application of micromanufacturing in general. So there are a lot of things that we have been doing. I'm not talking about for my own group. I'm talking about this entire I2M2 members that we would like other people to use. And also, this ICOMM conference is very important to put those things out there for people to know and use on their processes. We always talk about this chicken and an egg problem, because if a designer is sitting down and designing something, and that something is, designer knows what is, for instance, manufacturable, right? No designer will fabricate some or put some design, in their structure that they don't believe it can be fabricated. The point is, we have to come up with these technologies and get it out there, and people understand, okay, these are possible to do. And so that will advance many other fields, not manufacturing itself only. So anything?
No, I agree completely. I think this conference is, as one person put so well, is where sort of the bleeding edge of new understanding and technologies is presented. Hopefully sparks ideas, informs both practitioners and researchers, or other companies getting ideas and being able to adopt or develop this. That hopefully in some way this group coming together, exchanging ideas and disseminating that information can help grow the micromanufacturing market both in the U.S. and the world.